Today is all about your favorite coach. We have teamed up with CoachThem.com to give away 5 full season subscriptions to their innovative coaching tool. Welcome back to the Wraparound Roundtable. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Wraparound Roundtable. You know how it goes. Innovative hockey people, innovative hockey products, and a giveaway all in about 10 minutes. Bite-sized, the way you want it. Today's hockey friend is retired NHL defenseman Mike Weaver, who is the creator of CoachThem, which is a coaching tool designed to create custom drills and organize practices and then share them with a click of a button. It's pretty awesome. I will tell you right now, I have used it. I love it. I use it as a coach all the time. And today's giveaway is going to work a little differently than normal. Instead of a code word, we're going to have you nominate a coach via a link that will be found on hockeywraparound.com. Today's really about giving back to those coaches that volunteer so much time. Mike, it's so great to have you here today. Thanks for joining us on the Roundtable.
Awesome. Thanks, Lee. Every single time they're like NHL alumni, I'm like, oh my God, back in the day when playing, it was just awesome. And it was so amazing just to finish with just such an amazing the Montreal Canadiens. It was just pretty epic. So it was an amazing career, but now I got my hockey school that I'm able to help out with the youth players, but now it's pretty cool with CoachThem. I'm able to help out the coaches that are teaching these players.
Yeah, well, look, just going on what you said, I love that I get to say NHL alumnus anytime we're on the air, whether it's this episode or our kids play hockey, because there's so much respect from our audience to what you have accomplished and those players that have what they've accomplished in the NHL and having a career. But what's really cool with this show is the players that are giving back or bringing it back to the game. And that's one of the things that CoachThem does. You saw a need, you saw a why. So let's start there. Why did you create CoachThem, and what is the goal with it?
Well, while I was playing, like the odds of me playing, like I was 5'9", defensive defenseman. I basically ate pucks for a living. I ended up, I went to Michigan State University, had a telecommunication degree, a minor in virtual reality, software development, and web design. So didn't really think I was going to have a career, even though, I knew I was good enough. But at that point, you have to be like at least 6 feet in order to play. Especially as a D-man that couldn't score. So I ended up going
8 pucks, like you said, D-man of 8 pucks.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like what stats did I have? Right. I was literally the third assist. Right. So which obviously didn't make the score sheet. Right. I would always pass it out.
It does in our hearts, Mike. Just know that the fans know.
Well, the block shots, I was very good. I was very good at that. That was my basically good stat. Goalies loved me because first of all, I would block the shot so they didn't have to, and they could see over top of me. So it was pretty cool. But so I ended up creating my hockey school. And I think that's why I had such a long career was I ended up going in every single summer. I was able to work with kids and teach them how to think the game as a defender. And it's called Defense First. It's awesome camp. We've expanded to New York. We'll be expanding even further. But I just found it very tedious to go and draw drills over and over again. You're drawing the same drills. And that's probably one of the toughest things as a coach is going and sitting down for that practice plan. You have way more practices throughout the year than games. At least you should. And it basically there's a lot of responsibility put on these coaches in order to teach the right things. So as I was drawing that same drill over and over again on the same practice plan, I'm like, there's got to be an easier way. So I was taking scans. I was going and doing copying and pasting, paper mache, trying to go and make it easy. And I ended up getting traded. Well, I signed with Florida Panthers, and Rob Tallis, the goalie coach there, he's just like, we are in the NHL and we're still writing on a piece of paper. So I put together a team of individuals with my background, and I ended up coming up with CoachThem. So it's been pretty amazing. Like we got 40,000 accounts. We have like 11,000 active teams, 5,000 individual subscriptions. We got the NHL Coaches Association. We have Hockey Calgary, Hockey Alberta, Hockey Edmonton, Ottawa Senators programs, Lacrosse Canada for lacrosse. So it's every day I wake up, I'm up at like 5 a.m. every day, and I absolutely love it. I love what I'm doing now, and I love giving back to the coaching world.
Well, I love that answer because it shows that it came from a concept of actually playing and there's a need, and you found a way to create something to fill that need. Now, with that said, coaches know, parents know that while this is a giveaway and beggars can't be choosers, there are other aspects of CoachThem out there, other items out there that are like CoachThem. So, what makes CoachThem unique? And please, you referenced it already that there's multiple sports on this platform, right? This is not just limited to hockey, but what sets CoachThem apart from the rest?
Well, the one thing that the purpose of CoachThem is to never have to draw a drill again. Once you draw that drill once, it's there for life. So it's there forever. So, which is awesome. So we have, for hockey, we have about 4,000 drills, and about 80, probably 90% of them have videos. So we basically, instead of you having to go and draw drills, I'm pretty sure we have amongst our 4,000 drills, something that is very similar to you. If you don't like that drill and you want to change a little thing up, yes, you could edit that drill and then add it to your practice plan. We have 90 plus practice plans, station-based practice plans for U7, U8, and U9, U10. So we're going to be working on more of them coming up here. But it's the idea is to click and easily go and create your practice plan and share it ahead of your arrival to the rink. Because if your players know what's going on the ice and your coaches know what's going on the ice, you never have to go to the dry erase board. Right. And in saying that, for our individual subscription of $72 or our association subscription is $100 per team, we are saving coaches almost $3,000 per year with ice costs. So instead of going like it's 3 minutes to go and explain a drill, and there's about five drills per practice. So that's 15 minutes. So if you do the math, it's in around that $3,000 mark. Instead of going to the dry erase board for the coach to explain it, everybody knows the drill. Everybody's moving pucks and pylons into positions for the next drill, and it speeds it up. So I'm going to say parents love an organized coach because they know what is being taught. They're able to see it. And guess what? If you're not sharing your practice plans with the parents, you're probably not doing the right drills.
That's a good point, buddy. And I'll tell you what, kids love that stuff too. I mean, we don't say this enough. Kids actually crave discipline. It might not seem like that, especially at the younger ages, but they crave discipline. And when you have a practice plan ready and you share it as a coach with the parents and the kids, there's an accountability that is born from that helps to develop players off the ice as much as on the ice. Not to mention you're going to get a pretty high tempo practice, which is always encouraged, right? And I think you're making a great point there. So we're saying it at the top of the episode here. We're looking for nominations this time around. This is a giveaway, but it's not our traditional giveaway. We want to hear from you, all of you listening, to tell us about a coach that you love and why that coach and their staff deserve something like CoachThem. And don't assume if they have something that they're not going to want this. This is a great, innovative system. And Mike, my next question to you is, what are you looking for in a coach, or what are you looking for in the responses from our audience, right? I don't think we just want to get, yeah, John's a great guy, Lucy's a great coach, they deserve this. Like, what kind of qualities are you looking to hear from the audience?
Well, I want development-driven coaches. There are like when we go and reach out to associations, we always ask them, are you development-driven or are you coach-driven? The coach-driven associations are like, okay, here's your team, we'll talk to you next year. Right? The development-driven ones, they're the ones that are going in and actually working with their coaches to help them improve. They're going and giving CoachThem to their teams, so they actually have assets with pre-approved association drills for that. So I want the development-driven coaches, because I'm going to say that the ones that think that they know the king coach, you call it, right? The guy that gets on the ice
Gonna use that.
and he goes and commands the ice. His assistants really don't do anything. They just stand there because he's yeah, exactly. And it's just, you don't want that. We want the coaches that are all organized, that are understanding, like, hey, you know what? Assistant coaches go and actually help with drill creation. Hockey Canada, both men's and women's national teams are on there. And we did an article recently that if it wasn't for CoachThem, it'd been very difficult for the girls to win gold.
Right.
It was pretty
That's
cool.
A cool thing to hear. Yeah.
It was really cool because one of them got sick and they couldn't make it over there to the in China. And they ended up going and creating all the practice plans and all this, all the game reviews right on CoachThem, and they're able to share them. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. But what they do actually during the week, they go and create a practice plan that's blank, and they go and share it. And then throughout the week, their assistant coaches are able to go in there and add the drills that they like. And it's basically, why does always the head coach have to go and create that practice plan? That's a lot of pressure on them. So why not go and say to the head coach, hey, why don't my assistant coach go and create a practice plan? Have fun with it. Give some responsibility to your assistant coaches, because it's very difficult for a coach to go and handle that throughout the year. If you delegation, I'm going to say, should be one of the main makeup of a head coach. Delegating, responsibilities for coaches to actually go and teach. And it makes your assistant coaches feel like their worth is there, right? Like they're worth being an assistant coach, rather than just standing there blowing the whistle. Hey, next guy, go, right?
Yeah. Well, we should also say that that's how it works at the NHL level too, right? The head coach doesn't make all the decisions, right? That's why when you see the timeout at the end of the game or the power play, it's typically not the head coach showing it on the whiteboard of what they're going to do. This is a pro level tip you're giving right now.
So it's kind of cool. There's 15 NHL teams that use CoachThem this year.
There you go. That's a good stat to be saying right now.
Well, it rotates every year, right? There's coaching changes and everything. And the two finalists were both using CoachThem. So it was pretty cool. I was getting calls from the Panthers. Hey, we need to add a few more guys. This is like in the semi-finals. Which was cool, that they're utilizing our platform like that. So it's been I'm going to say, a lot of people think that, it's either, some people think that, it's only for professional coaches, right? But then there's other ones that think it's for not the house league coaches. I'm like, it's for everybody. It's for
everyone. Yeah, I can testament to that. Yeah, for sure.
I see Brad Shaw, who's with Columbus right now. He's on there every other day.
Right.
We have coaches that are U7, U8 coaches that associations sometimes think that, they're house league, they don't need it. I'm like, they need it more than the professional coaches, even though the professional coaches like to stay organized. So I got to say that organized coach that realizes that, hey, we're not a luxury product. We're a necessity product, just like ice.
Right? You're a tool.
We're a tool. We're a tool to actually make your life easier.
Yeah, and it does.
Being able to create that practice plan faster, easier. I think Mike Benelli and I were creating it within 10 minutes.
Right.
So I'm going to say that it's it makes your experience at home faster, practice creations, but also throughout the year, you're saving so much on wasted time on the ice.
Well, I can confirm that, and I can also say that I have used this from a IIHF level all the way down to mites and squirts, just to, like I said, confirm what you're saying. This is not just for pros. Although I do like the fact you can lead with, both the teams in the final last year were using this. You got to lead with that, Mike. That's a good one. I do want to turn in though. We always say the show's about the independent hockey businesses. We're here to celebrate them. You're one of them. So I want to hear a little bit about your team, because it's not just you over at the CoachThem. Tell us about the team and how they make this possible every day.
Yeah, well, it's funny, from what we do, we got a very, very tight company. I only work with amazing people. So we got Anna back there that basically handles a lot of the stuff. We got even drill and mins that go in. Their main job is to go in and work with our professional coaches out there to go and work with their drills and being able to recreate them on CoachThem. So our Instagram at CoachThem has, I think we will have almost all our marketplace drills on there. And the reason why we put it on there on our Instagram for free is that we want people to understand that, hey, that's great. This is awesome. You guys can go and screenshot whatever you want, but I'm like, it's all on CoachThem.
Right.
So instead of screenshotting them and using Microsoft Word to go and actually put your practice plan together, being able to go and come onto our platform and being able to instantly search the name and find them right away is huge. So yeah, so we have drill and mins. We have a great, amazing team of developers that are working with us all the time and working to develop the next latest and greatest, which we have some great stuff that's going to be coming around the corner. But it's basically, yeah, we're very, very tight company.
No, I love it, dude, because that's the congruent thing we hear from everybody we interview. It's not we have some gigantic building with our name on the front that's lit up at night. We're just good people working together. We're high performers. I feel the same way about my team, our producers, our people behind the scenes. These are people that make their livelihood on this, go home and think about it, and they think about you, and they come back to work the next day doing the same thing. And we should give a joint, you said his name, we should give a joint shout out to Mike Benelli, who's my co-host on Our Kids Play Hockey, also a good friend of yours, Mike Benelli Hockey Solutions. Just have to do that. We both know him pretty well. Last question for you.
Yeah. Also with that, we have some amazing people like Benelli, and there are that go and really use it every day, and they bring amazing people onto the platform. Right. So I'm going to say, if it wasn't for Mike Benelli too, he's a very, very big part of our group as well. Even though he's not officially with CoachThem, we think of him as part of the family with CoachThem anyways.
Yeah, well, I feel like I'm part of his family. I get yelled at enough to be part of his family. That's how like last question for me before we close this out. I always love to give our audience some inspiring quotes or something motivational from the guests. Can you share something with the parents listening, the coaches listening, and the kids listening?
If I was to say something, I absolutely love teaching kids. That's one of the most amazing thing as a coach, the responsibility that you have to go and teach your kids. Those parents are giving me the responsibility to go and actually teach them. Like if you're in school and a teacher forgot to do multiplications one year, and then all of a sudden that kid doesn't know it the following year, you've basically hurt their progress. So the pressure that is put on me as a coach, as long as I'm doing the right things, the parents can't live. They got to let their kids actually experience it themselves, and they can't go and actually hijack their kids' childhood. And that's one of the biggest things. I see parents at the rink yelling and screaming at the ref and telling them to F this, F that. And it gets to the point where there's been a couple of times I'm like, guys, I actually went up to them and I'm like, hey, are these kids professional? And the parents like, no. I'm like, so is the ref professional? They're like, no. I'm like, well, the guy's getting $50 for this game. I'm like, if he was a professional, he'd be getting thousands of dollars per game. So I don't understand why you are going and yelling and screaming at a person. Like, you wouldn't do that walking the streets because you would be arrested, right? And it's something that these parents got to stop going and taking. And that's what I've found the last little bit is been ruining the game so much, is these parents are ruining their kids. Like that is your kids' time away from their parents to go and experience, and it's their time. They could do whatever they want. They're on the ice. Their parent is not controlling them. Their coach obviously is giving them direction, but these parents got to stop going and yelling, even in the game. Let them make mistakes. Let them fall. Let the coach actually bench a kid, because guess what? There's a reason why a kid is being benched, right? Right? They have to go and follow the hockey experience. Like I was benched too. Actually, my dad actually used to bench me a lot because he was the head coach, and he felt he didn't want everybody else thinking that I got more ice time than them. So I got benched more than anybody. But at the end of the day, I used the next time that I was on the ice to go and actually be an impact even more so, that it made it even tougher for him to bench his own son. So it's something that parents stay out of it. Go and bite your tongue and go and sit there and enjoy your kid having experience. And that, if I was to say anything, that is something that has gone to the point. I know it's pretty heated, everything. Finances are tough. There's a lot of things that are tough nowadays. But that's why the kid, you have them in sports, is to go and learn an amazing pastime. And that is going to stay with him the rest of his life.
Yeah, I'll add on to that too, that hockey is one of the most imperfect sports out there, in the sense that we capitalize off of everybody's misfortune or mistakes. That's how the game is kind of played. And so if you try and approach that with a perfect mentality, you're going to have a really hard time, because there's no perfect players in hockey. And I was just say, if you want to play a sport where they have a right play for every situation, go try baseball when they have a stat for errors. I'm just kidding. I love baseball. But
I know, but the thing is, like if I was to say one more thing,
yeah.
Like you got to understand, think about the game of hockey. You got this little rubber thing we call a puck, and we got 5 guys on the ice with and we have these blades that we're skating around, and we're trying to whack this thing with a stick. And you got this coach on your bench, which you could consider your boss, that is basically going and instruct and yelling, hopefully not yelling, but going and instructing and putting out a plan that you and your other 4 guys on the ice have, from different backgrounds, maybe different languages, have to go and come together and take what he's saying and put into action. And you got to go and hit this little rubber thing past this person in front of this mesh, and he's wearing pillows called pads. Okay. And we're trying to get into this little mesh. I'm like, it's a silly game what we play, but what does it teach you? It teaches you real life experiences. And if these parents realize that if your kid gets cut, understand that there's probably a reason. Like obviously if he got cut because of a situation or whatever, but there's a reason why. Like why did he get cut? Look at that. And guess what? At the end of the day, it's like in real life, you're going to get fired. If you don't do the job good enough than another person, you're going to get fired. That's how it is. And that's how you learn. And these kids, failure, we've been removing failure away from these kids. And we've been like, oh, here's a participant medal. I hate those participant medals. Like, you should go and, hey, if you want to go and get that gold, you got to work hard. And if you're not going to work hard, they're going to replace you with somebody that is. And these real life experiences, hockey goes and teaches you that. And if you didn't like to get bruises or whatever, go play chess, right? Like you play chess, and it's a contact sport. It's a contact rough sport. All right. And it's something that, if you go and have your eyes open to the real experiences that happen in the game and what it teaches you, I would rather hire an athlete that knows that rather than a non-athlete, because they know what it takes to go and actually be successful.
I agree with you, buddy. And I do like to say there was a great commercial with Gretzky and Messier years ago playing chess, since you mentioned it. And I remember that, not a real world, but Gretzky's winning the game and Messier just slaps the boards away and just says, that's enough of that. But no, man, you're making great points, dude. And I want to remind the audience again, we are giving away 5 sets of CoachThem subscriptions. Mike has been very generous, and his team, to offer that. And again, there's no code this week. We want you to nominate a coach. So head over to hockeywraparound.com. It'll be very clear on the page where you're going to enter into this. There'll be a form. Take a couple minutes. Just write, hey, listen, this coach or this coaching staff, we don't want any king coaches, as Mike said, deserves this. And this is why. And we will select the winners 1 week after this recording is posted. And we will make sure we email all of you as soon as that's done. But that is going to do it for this Wraparound Roundtable. This is a special one, Mike. I really appreciate you coming on.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me, Lee. It was amazing. I love what you got going on there. I've listened to a couple of these podcasts, and I think it's great. I think you got a really good, amazing following, and keep it going. This is what the hockey world needs.
Yeah, thanks, brother. We knew the community was out there. We just wanted to give them a voice, and the best part about this community is that they share stuff with us too, right? It's a two-way conversation, and just like this conversation has been as well. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Wraparound Roundtable. One more time, head over to hockeywraparound.com. Look for the CoachThem giveaway. Get over there. Tell us about your coaches. We want to know, why do they deserve CoachThem? Make sure to check out CoachThem.com as well, just to get some more information. We will see you next time on the Roundtable, everybody. Have a great week. Have a great skate. And skate on.